Welcome back to the show, folks. It's I Quit My Band.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for being here. My name is Nate.
I'm JJ.
I'm Evan.
Before we get into it, sub to the channel if you haven't yet. Comment down below. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. Sub to our Patreon page. $5 a month to become a quitter. We're doing a very cool thing over there right now where we're watching all episodes of the VH1 show Supergroup.
All
of them.
Even the ones you can't find.
Yeah, we just did episodes 1 and 2. We're going to be putting out episode 3 this week on Sunday. They come out Sunday. So $5 a month to follow along with one of the greatest shows of all time.
Truly. I mean, it goes like
it's incredible.
Sopranos, The Wire, Supergroup.
Yeah,
above
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
But before we start talking about Supergroup tonight, we're going to review a couple albums. The first of which is this new one by the Gorillaz called The Mountain, which came out this past week. And they've been teasing this thing for like 6 months. Like,
Are you serious?
It's been like maybe since like September or October when they announced this.
That's
and started
insane.
putting out singles for it.
You don't need to do that.
You don't, but I kind of like respect it because like I think just even by like I don't know, like not even really paying attention to the release of this record or like the singles that much, I knew that this was happening because it just like it was in the ether for so long, and you're just like, when is that gonna fucking come out?
Yeah, I remember checking, you know, how like on Spotify they have the album and then any singles that have been released so far there. And there was like 7 songs that had been released.
There was
like,
so
holy
many.
shit.
Yeah.
It just had been going for so long. They, you know, and like the features list seemed like pretty like crazy. They always have
crazy.
They always have a pretty extensive features list. But I mean, I guess I want to talk a little bit with you guys about like your familiarity with the Gorillaz, because like I became a very big Gorillaz fan when I was younger after seeing the music video for Clint Eastwood.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. I was like scared of it
Same.
because it's scary.
Yeah, and like you can't really wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
Because I remember I thought that Del the Funky Homo Sapien was in the Gorillaz.
I also thought that too.
Like I didn't understand it as like Damon Albarn's vibe curation project.
Yeah.
You know, where he would bring these people in for features and stuff like that. So I was then confused when Feel Good Inc. came out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not Del.
Yeah, I was
That's
like, what
the
happened?
guy from
Yeah.
De La Soul.
I was like, these guys are cartoons. How can they even?
Well,
What is this?
It's the Daft Punk effect.
Yeah.
Where you don't know who the guys are.
You don't know who the guys are.
It's like the Sia effect.
yeah,
It's not
a
the same at
classic.
all.
You don't know who the guys are.
Yeah.
effect.
And you're like, I just want to know who the guys are.
Guys are not here. But yeah, it was so like puzzling to me and so like intriguing. You have to love Clint Eastwood. And then there was there's other songs in that first record, and then Demon Days came out, and like Feel Good Inc., Dare
rules.
Kids with Guns, ton of Clint Eastwood. No, not Clint Eastwood. Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
They have a couple Clint Eastwood themed songs. And then I feel like I kind of like I liked Plastic Beach a lot. And then after Plastic Beach, I felt like I don't like they had this like comeback. They went from Plastic Beach to releasing Humans like 7 years later, and they've like been consistently releasing records since then, but like I haven't really given that much of a shit about any of them, you know?
Well, it's the paradigm, not the paradigm, but the dilemma that we've talked about with other bands is like, are their first like 3 albums good?
Yeah, well, this is a case for that.
And
but
then
Gorillaz
the rest
isn't-
of them suck.
Yeah, but the Gorillaz aren't a project that I would imagine like that would even happen with, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm in the exact same boat as you. The first 3 albums I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Haven't really been able to get into anything since then.
Yeah.
And they're a weird project in that I wouldn't expect like this supergroup collaborative project to generate as many like generational pop songs as
true.
it did
Yeah.
to begin with.
A cartoon band.
Yeah,
it's
like,
weird.
Like the fact that you get Clint Eastwood, Feel Good Inc.,
Dirty
and then
Harry.
On Melancholy Hill, like, you know, is it even like right to think that this project should still be able to generate those types of songs. They haven't, though.
They haven't at all.
So I think that is kind of where my perception of them is, where it's like, oh, here's this band that once was able to produce like zeitgeisty pop music that was like weird and mixed both rock and alt rock and hip hop, and really since Plastic Beach, I'll check in every once in a while. Like they did that Song Machine. There was some decent stuff off that.
Yeah.
And it seems like that has become the release strategy is like stretch it out.
Yeah.
For a long time. And it probably makes sense for them because to get all of these people together, I'm sure it's expensive and time consuming.
Yeah.
So to get the most out of a release, spread it out as long as possible.
I just remember Humans coming out in 2017 and I was very excited to check it out. And then I was just like, this is just like whatever, fine. And then they released another album like right after that didn't have many features on it, so it felt like a B-sides type of thing. And then it was Song Machine, and then they had one like just 3 years ago called Cracker Island, which I listened to Cracker Island, and it's like I think it was pretty good, but yeah, there's no hits. Like they've been hitless for a long time. They've just been kind of making projects and I think it's harder for me to wrap my head around like being hitless and kind of doing the first 3 band rule when you are built around having a bunch of different artists and different features and like having no genre. Like it's hip hop, it's experimental, it's like synth wave, I guess. Like,
but then you got a bass line like "Feel Good Inc." in your repertoire, like that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, that's so good.
And the battery of other songs that they got going on is like comparable as well. But I think where they struggle, where we'll talk about it in this album, but where they where it becomes challenging is like, what the fuck is this? It's like, are they a rap group or are they just vibe curation? Are they like, because like there's some of this shit bordering not in terms of energy but in terms of attention grabbingness. It's bordering on Krungbin in a way, because it's just like elevated background shit sometimes.
For this album, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah,
we can just start talking about this one. I mean, it's called The Mountain. It's over an hour long. It's got a lot of features, a lot of tracks. I guess it was recorded over like a very long time period. I mean, there's a Marky Smith feature on this.
And he's been dead for like 7 years.
He died in 2018.
That's crazy.
Like, I looked it up. I was like, is Marky Smith still alive? It was like, no, he died when you thought he died.
Wow.
A long time ago.
Yeah. And there's a couple of those. Like there's a Proof verse. Bobby Womack is on it.
Bobby Womack, yeah.
Dennis Hopper, who was on Demon Days.
Bobby Womack was also on Plastic Beach, and same with Marky Smith.
Yeah, I think they probably had stuff from a session that they were able to use.
Recycle it, maybe.
Yeah.
And I didn't, because I was reading about what brought the album on, or like the theme of the album, and I know Damon Albarn and whoever his like main collaborator is,
Jamie Hewlett,
both of their fathers died around the same time, and they both went to India.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if it was like a concerted effort to have as many like posthumous people
that's
on
a
the
good.
record.
I didn't even think about that,
because I was like, this is strange how many posthumous people there are on
honoring
this.
like the dead almost.
Yeah, because I mean, there is that song. I forget which one where they're talking about like the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing, and then it goes into Orange County.
Yeah,
which Orange County I think is the best song on the record.
I'd have to say that too.
I really like the transition into it, and then like taking that like very simple thing is like hardest thing is saying goodbye to the ones you love.
Yeah.
Taking something that simple that could be corny.
Yeah.
But filling it out with just like great song production and like that song more than any of them, I feel like has like a pop sensibility. It's less like, there's a lot of stuff on this record that feels what's the word I'm looking for? Like a composition.
Yeah.
Whereas that still has like a poppiness to it, and that feels at home with like the mid 2000s when they were probably at their height. Like,
that one has a Plastic Beach. Has a On Melancholy Hill vibe to
Yeah.
me. Like it's trying to do that same thing. There's a couple of them towards the front half. Like I thought the same thing about Happy Dictator. Plastic Guru almost does that a little bit too. Like they have these poppier, like twinklier moments. That's. I think there's another the other one with Johnny Marr. Yeah, Plastic Guru. That's the one.
Yeah.
The manifesto is like kind of a longer take on all of it, but yeah, I kind of this album reminded me of Plastic Beach more than any other Gorillaz project.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's like more laid back, very vibe heavy. And then having like the Indian influence throughout.
The worldly thing,
which I thought they did pretty well, actually.
I thought so too. I think like having the first track and the title track be like an instrumental, like whatever that is, like sitar type of thing go on. And it's like very pretty and like kind of makes a huge statement. It's one of my favorite tracks on the record, even though it is an instrumental and is just kind of like this interlude type of thing. It's like one of the prettiest things on the record, and it sets the tone for the whole record too.
It's this is a very like positive and happy record, I would say. Even though I didn't know that context about their dads and you know the like kind of spiritual journey that they went on or whatever, but with that in mind, I feel like they're trying to put like generally a positive spin on something that wasn't, you know, great, and it really translates in some like because it is vibe heavy. There's a lot of stuff that is just like there's like soundscapes, there's like, you know, like shit like that. So I really think that they're trying to translate through without words some sort of positive nature in all of this.
I think so.
Yeah, it has like a Darjeeling Limited.
Yes.
Beatles.
Yeah.
We went to India and
Yeah,
found like
it really does.
the spiritual.
We went to India, and now we're gonna put this Indian like symbol on the cover, and we're Indian too.
We are now Indian as well.
Have you heard the sitar before?
Have you ever heard of this? This
shit's
is amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the sitar I think is Ravi Shankar's daughter.
Oh, is it?
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Anushka Shankar or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree that the beginning is more accessible than the back half.
Oh, for sure.
I really like the beginning. Like I think I think Moon Cave is cool. Like they do a really good job of mixing the like world music vibes with like really good electropop vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I love all the synth sounds on it.
It really sits well. Like everything, like all the sitar and like Indian influence, like really sits well in the in the background. Like they don't overdo it at all. You know, like I think, like some of them you don't even really like realize it's happening. Like Happy Dictator. Like that sounds more like just like upbeat. Like it has Sparks.
I mean, it sounds like a Sparks song.
It sounds like a Sparks song. Yeah. And then God of Lying. I didn't love God of Lying when it first came out as a single, but in the context of the record, I think it's one of my favorites on the record.
Yeah.
I think I was just kind of preparing for a very obnoxious
Joe Talbot
feature, but I didn't get that. I got more like a subdued Joe Talbot. I'm like, okay, you can't really tell it's Joe Talbot.
He's not quite riffing on the wage gap.
I like that you can't tell that it's Joe Talbot.
Yeah, to me that almost felt like, you know, because it has that reggae sort of vibe, so it felt like they were going almost for like the Clash. And it's like, who's the biggest punk band now?
Yeah,
well, you can't
Idols.
get Joe Strummer.
Yeah.
Let's get Joe Talbot.
Let's get Joe Talbot.
Yeah, it has like a Guns of Brixton type of vibe to it, but just like maybe on Robitussin, like it's a little more like
tussed out.
Well, you know
yeah, dude, I'm tussing.
there was a lot of members of the Clash that were involved in the Gorillaz. Did you know that?
No.
Like, well, Paul Simon and however you say his last name is on this record, but him and Mick Jones toured with Gorillaz as like their backing band for the Plastic Beach tour.
Oh, that's
cool.
sick.
So like, yeah, it was like and they didn't make like a big stink about it either. Just like dressed up like sailors and they just like played bass and guitar. It was
like
so cool.
The most legendary.
I was just like,
yeah, we're gonna
these
put you in
guys.
the fucking Good Ship Lollipop outfit and play bass.
I would watch fucking VH1 Classic, and there was one Gorillaz concert that they had on there, and I was just like, is that Mick Jones from The Clash, just like old as hell playing guitar on fucking stylo? You know,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think it's a weird thing to just pull those two guys for your backing band.
Big time. Yeah, and I think that this is the album, because I haven't listened to a Gorillaz like as intensely as this as probably like since college.
Yeah.
And kind of understanding it as this is Damon Albarn's like taste curation project.
Yeah.
And that is a cool thing to be able to do, and I think he does it pretty well.
He does it very well. Yeah.
The one thing that has to be a bummer for him, and maybe why we don't have like the same level of pop songs from them that we used to, is if he wants to play Feel Good Inc. or Clint Eastwood live, unless Del the Funky Homo Sapien, or I mean Trugoy's dead, he's just he can't do that one anymore. It's like you just have to have a guy.
You have to have a guy come on. I mean, it's mostly probably going to be Mos Def.
Yeah.
That's just going to do every rap.
Or Black Thought.
Or Black Thought.
Which I really like his features on.
His features are great on this record, yeah. Yeah, and I love Mos Def too, so I'm fine with any Mos Def feature. But yeah, I mean, I guess honestly that kind of like concludes a lot of like the positives I have to say about this record, because the other part of this record that like sucks is that it just is so mid-tempo the whole time.
Yes.
Like it is just it's long and it feels fucking long.
It
like,
does feel long.
It's called The Mountain, and it's a mountain, dude.
Yeah.
This is a mountain of an album, which I can respect. Like I can respect as a piece of work because it sounds great. Apart from the vocals and the like, one big criticism I have of the first half is that the vocals are so distorted that it doesn't, like, for parts that will sound good without distortion, it's like so overblown, and they sit on top, like they sound kind of dry almost.
Yeah.
Like on, I think I want to even say, I think it's the Moon Cave, where like there's a, like that melody would sound so much better if it just was not fucking like completely trashed with distortion.
Well, he does that like.
He does the telephone thing.
Yeah, which sounds awesome in Feel Good Inc.
Yeah, but
it doesn't have to be on every song.
It doesn't have to be on every song. And I went back and I like re-listened to Cracker Island. I'm like, has he done this with everything? And no, he doesn't do it with every single song. It's like, it hasn't been like their signature for, you know, he does it on some songs, but it's not like he has to do it on every song on past records, you know?
And I feel like it's even more, it doesn't work on this record because of how lush all the other production is. And then all the other singers are typically coming in with very pretty voices. Or they're presented in like with just like reverb, not a ton of distortion. So that is something that I found grating about the record as well. Or just certain things that didn't work. There's another song, I'll have to look at the notes to find it, but there's like heavy auto-tune.
Yeah, a lot of heavy auto-tune.
And he'll be doing like a call and response between a chorus of really good sounding voices, and then his like comes in with this like awful auto-tune that's not even, doesn't sound good.
And he like barely is trying to be even on key. Like he's just, there's so many times in this record where he's just flat as hell, and it's like, I get it, that's like the 2D Damon Albarn, like 2D personality. It's just like kind of like a lazy delivery. But like when it's it's super accentuated when there's like the most gain on your vocal.
Yeah, and it's
possible.
like it's walkie-talkie mode to the max.
Yeah, exactly. Like it sounds like a guitar.
Yeah.
Like there's some parts where he's singing high and it sounds like a guitar and not a vocal.
I think that in general the mountainous amount of music would be more palpable for me if there were 2 to 3 upbeat rippers in here. Not rippers, but you know what I mean. Something that like is less, because it suffers from perpetual vibes.
Yeah.
Perpetual like droning synth or like atmospheric sounds or international whatever. It suffers from that to me because there's nothing on the album to really break up the monotony of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I think, like, you're right, but also I think it's just the quality of songwriting that is also not there.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, I think Orange County, I think God of Lying, I think Plastic Guru, Delirium, like, all of these, and some other ones during in the back half, like Sweet Prince, Shadowy Light, like, they're upbeat and there's energy behind them, but it's just like Delirium with Marky Smith. Like, think about Glitter Freeze on Plastic Beach. That was the Marky Smith featured song on that record, and how much cooler that is than Delirium. Like, Delirium, like, pretty
Delirium's-
much sucks.
No, Delirium's a decent song.
I don't like Marky Smith's feature at all. It just sounds fucking like
Like an old man.
an
yelling
old man. It's
Delirium.
like, it has like Lou Reed Metallica.
It
syndrome.
does, but the song is cooler than Lou Reed Metallica.
For sure. I'll give it that. The song is cooler, but I just didn't think it was like, I guess, inputted well. I don't know what the word is.
Implemented properly.
Implemented properly.
Yeah, I think I feel somewhat similar to you guys, but I don't think that it really hit me till the end of the album. Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty much on
It's
board with
long,
the
man.
album until basically after Damascus.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
Like, I think the toughest sit for me is the Shadowy Light,
Yeah.
Casablanca, Sweet Prince trio. All
Yeah.
feel like they could be excised.
Yeah.
And that's like 12 minutes of music.
Yeah.
I do like the Sad God
Sad
as
God
a closer.
is a nice closer. Yeah.
Like, really pretty, and then the way the music drops out, and then Black Thought starts his verse, and
Yeah.
then like the track keeps building up from there. I like Delirium. I really like Manifesto.
Manifesto is really cool.
It's like 7 minutes
It's
long.
a very long song, but there's a lot of cool moving parts in it.
Very cool. Like,
Yeah.
the beat switch for Proof's beat is awesome. That's probably my favorite
Yeah.
thing on the record. And Proof's verse is great, but it feels like unfinished.
Yeah.
There's like a part at the end where he's like, "All right, we're going."
That's
Like,
what
it
I
just
thought. I
ends-
was like, is this? I didn't realize it was the same song for a while. Like, halfway
Yeah.
through, I was like, oh, this is just the same song. Like, it was different, but I thought it like cut off and became something else. But yeah, it's just a 7-minute song.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, I like most of the songs, but every time that I would finish the album, it leaves kind of a rough taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
When like the last slide is just like a 15-minute like glide
Yeah.
over New Delhi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It feels like you just went on like a 2-mile walk.
It feels like
Yeah,
I'm in
fuck.
history class
Yeah.
watching a documentary.
Yeah, it's like, it's interesting, and you're glad you're watching a movie that day in history class.
Totally.
You couldn't be happier to be watching a movie, but
'Cause
then
you
at
were
the end,
late
you're
on the
like,
homework.
This fucking movie is boring.
Yeah, I'm watching Gettysburg
I need
with
to
fucking Jeff
go.
Daniels. You're like,
Yeah,
damn,
Yeah.
he's not funny like he is in Dumb and Dumber.
When they rolled out that TV, you're like,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Yes.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
and you're like, okay, documentary, that's better than the fucking
Well,
chalk.
okay, but here's
Yeah,
the-
here's
all right.
13 VHSs of Ken Burns,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
That illustrates my point perfectly, actually,
Yeah.
because if we're going by this analogy, this is like the boring history class documentary. But you know what gets the kids bumping? Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
That fucking intro song, Bill.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
none of that on this record.
This is more like a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Don't diss the Mythbusters like that. That's,
Mythbusters is good, but it's not Bill.
It's
Nye.
a little too much science.
It's too much
Like, I don't
science.
need to see you build the cannon, brother.
No,
Just
I like
tell me
that part.
whether or not the myth is busted or not.
I'll
Can we get
fast
to the
forward
part where you bust the myth, motherfucker?
I
wanna
like
see
that
you
part.
Building a generator.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward to when you bust the myth.
Yes, I agree with some of your criticisms, but I actually ended up walking away from this album probably liking it more than I thought I was going to. I think the first half of it works pretty well together. Like, the ups and the downs work pretty well. I do agree that there's certainly not a Feel Good Inc. or
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood
No,
on this.
I think those days are gone. though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I and like, you know, under the circumstances that the record was made and what I think that they were trying to say about the record, I don't think you're like, well, my dad's dead. Better write Feel Good Inc.
Right, exactly.
So I think, what they were trying to do artistically, I think it comes across. I do think that including so many posthumous artists' features on it is tying into that idea, and there's like lyrical themes about it as well. It's definitely a more subdued headphones experience, but I thought it was fairly successful for what it was trying to do. Do think they could cut 15 minutes.
Yeah,
easy. Absolutely. Yeah.
Easy.
Do you want to CA it?
I think we're ready to see it.
I think we're ready. Yeah, why don't you just go?
Well, I'm just going to repeat everything
That was basically,
I was
it sounded like a CA.
I was going to say, did we not announce the CAs and then Evan started doing a CA?
That could be your CA.
Yeah, I mean, I'll expound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 7.0.
Okay, 7.0. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. Yeah, so I agree with what I think we're all pretty close here. I wasn't as moved by it. I mean, maybe if I had the context while listening to it that Evan had, I might appreciate it a bit more. But it was just, like I've said this like 3 times. It was just too much vibe and not enough. Like, give me something that's just a little bit higher BPM and ditch like a few of the flutes or something, and then I'm in. Just 1 or 2. But there wasn't anything on the track list that I like added to my liked songs. It just like nothing really compelled me. But it excluding some of those vocal moments there with the auto-tune and shit, it is like well produced and thoughtful. And I mean, God bless the guy that had to input this into Spotify, because there's just a billion features on this thing. All that said, it didn't do much for me, so I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6. Okay. For me, I kind of walked away from this like exactly how I expected, because I just, with the past couple Gorillaz projects, I haven't expected them to like blow me away in any sense of the word, and this one felt more like leading up to it, I was like, this is going to be more of like a long like story conceptual album that probably isn't going to have a ton of like excitement on it. So I kind of knew that was going to happen. And the first half of the record, like you said, like it does work for me too. I think the songs are strong. It's more like I enjoyed listening to it, but the vocal mix, like it just kept getting in the way of my enjoyment the whole time. I was just like, God, if this just wasn't so distorted, it would sound so much better.
There was a little less telephone going on.
Yeah, and I think I didn't appreciate the songwriting as much as you, because like I don't think that, like, I don't like Delirium that much, and I do think that like, even though Plastic Guru is like an upbeat moment on the record, I don't love the chorus. Like, it does feel kind of like cheesy, like how we kind of make fun of, metal bands for having like the big triumphant chorus. This was like, the Teletubbies, like, let's all play and share together moment. And I was like, this is cheesy.
This is Kill Switch.
But like, I remembered it because I was like, oh yeah, it's like one of the like big happy moments on the record. So yeah, I wasn't like in love with the songwriting. The production and the performances are great. I also don't love how like some of the features are implemented. Like sometimes they do it really well, but there's certain songs that feel like the Gorillaz and Damon Albarn is the feature on a song that features more of the guest. You know what I mean? Like, I like stuff off of Cracker Island and their earlier stuff because it was always like a song and then they have a place, that's either like a take it away moment or it's like, worked into the song. This felt like Black Thought comes in kind of the same way on both of his features. It's just like he's tacked in on the end.
That was one of my notes. Yeah. There's a couple times where Black Thought comes in that I would have preferred him be used like Trugoy was used.
Yeah.
Where he's the center of the song.
Yeah.
Damon's the hook, and it's almost like the exact opposite, where they're like sharing equal parts of the song.
Yeah, it felt a little bit uneven there. Like the opening track on Cracker Island, the song Cracker Island, it has Thundercat on it. and he kind of just like is support on the chorus while like everyone, Damon Albarn kind of leads the song, and I felt like he kind of loses himself in a lot of, especially on God of Lying. It's like that's Joe Talbot all the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have problems with it. I didn't think it was bad by any means. I think it's like definitely an achievement for the Gorillaz. And I'm gonna guess this is gonna get like a ton of acclaim by whoever it is, publications. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are gonna like this, but I'm gonna give it a 6.7.
There you go.
Yeah,
6, 7.
6.7.
Sorry.
It's a 6.5, dude.
There you go.
I think that's a feel meh.
Feel meh
Ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Feel
nice.
meh ink.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Is that a yeah whatever? Yeah, that's a yeah,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
a yeah, whatever.
I mean, we could argue it out. I think I'm the
Nah.
only one that feels hell yeah about it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty yeah whatever.
Yeah, I
about
do
it.
as well.
Yeah.
Feel meh ink.
Yeah, you got to really
Feel
hit that
meh
meh.
ink. Yeah. Blech. Yeah. Yeah,
good.
it's just this is what the Gorillaz do now.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what it is. Like it's like this big. I don't really know, how far they're taking the character thing with it. I think they did put out like a movie or something.
They're
for
like
the
on
mountain.
the album cover.
They're on the album cover.
Yeah,
like
they
they're
released like
still-
a hand-drawn video or something like that.
Yeah, like I like that they're still doing that.
That
and
shit's
they're-
not for guys like me though. I'm not
I
an
think it's-
anime guy.
I think it's cool that they still do it.
Yeah.
I like that like world building.
I
thing
know
that they do.
dudes that's for, and I'm not one.
And
You know what I
not
mean?
one.
And I'm not
And I'm
one.
I'm
not
a
one.
cool
I'm telling
guy.
you right now, I don't like
And I'm not
cartoons.
I watch wrestling like
Yeah.
a real man.
You should be in like a WWE video right now, and I'm not one.
I'm not
You hear me, Sting?
I ain't no weeb, okay, Macho Man. No, I agree. I think they're a late period artist now, and they're still doing more interesting things
Yeah.
than your typical late period artist. They're able to
Yeah.
assemble this huge batch of talent that want to work with them, and I do think that they did a good job of keeping the vibe and concept of the album consistent throughout.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe to a fault, like you
Yeah.
said, like it didn't allow for that, breakthrough song
Yeah.
that you're gonna be like, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like the closest is probably Orange County.
Orange County.
Which I probably will go back and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But everything past Damascus, if you ask me in a week to
You
be
don't
like,
need
what
it.
does Shadowy Light sound like?
What was even that song? Dude, ask me what Shadowy Light sounds like now. I listened to it 3 hours ago. I'm struggling on the Shadowy Light test.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6.5. It's a feel meh ink. Yeah, whatever. Let us know what you thought in the comments. If you liked it more than us. If you didn't like it, I'm not going to go too hard. I'm not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We don't want the cartoon boys
Yeah,
coming after us.
I don't want
bro.
that anymore.
Out of all the fan bases, those are the ones
That
you're
is,
scared of.
I am.
That's true.
scared of
The
that.
guys
Yeah.
with Russell tattoos. I'm
I've
out.
had
of
enough
Fuck
of that.
that. Don't do that.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. And subscribe to the Patreon, $5 a month to watch Supergroup or listen to us recap Supergroup. New episodes out Sunday. So it's like Quit My Band. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.